Hello and welcome to this Diecast Mafia movie car invitational. And I'm not saying what I'm doing. I'm just gonna leave it to people to guess. It's a quite well-known car in the movies. And we're starting with what is obviously a VW Beetle. And it's one of the Corgi Juniors ones, in a very beat up and battered condition. And luckily the screen's in good condition. The wheels are gonna go bye-bye, so they just don't look right at all for a Beetle. So they're gonna be going, it's not gonna be place. So without further ado, here we are, we'll make a start. And first things first, the bumpers are gonna be going. So here we are, sewing off the bumpers with my jeweller's saw. And it was an harder task than it actually looked. It's reasonably thick metal on these old Corgi Juniors. They're not that robust at casting, to be honest. They were fairly weak castings, the Husky and what became Corgi Juniors and Whiz Wheels. They weren't a great casting. The Whiz Wheels improved build quality a little. And this one's quite well made in that it has a metal base as well. And here I'm centre punching the rivets so I can drill them, which was a bit of a bind in itself. My centre punch is not working happily at the moment for whatever reason. Anyway, here we're starting drilling the rivets out. Doesn't take too long a task. It doesn't actually get tapped this time because, to be fair, they're that fine at casting, these Corgis. Like, there's virtually nothing for you to drill and tap. And here, I'm sewing off one corner of the headlamp unit. And we're sewing off one of the wings. If you know this movie, some might have guessed by now. If not, it's a movie you should really watch. And there we go. There's the actual wing being sawn off. And here we're drilling for a larger, well, it's an axle tube that's going in to take me new wheels, because I'm using the tubing and pinning method. And as it goes, the wheels I chose to go on it worked really well. I'll tell you what they are in a bit. But they actually work really well with the car. And here I'm just cutting them approximately to length, because they'll be cut down later to how big I want them. I'll take the excess off after. I'll just measure it against the other and sew another piece. Not that it matters being spot on, because as I've said, I'm going to sew off the excess once it's in. I'm just making them a bit over for sorting them out and gluing them in, lining them up. And here I'm putting some JB weld in the roof. And I've taped some cardboard behind the wing area. And just scoop some JB weld in there to make an inner wing. I don't know whether it's the best sort of JB weld I have. It's more like a narrow dike than a filler. But it did the job anyway, I suppose. I bought it ages ago and I've not really used it that much because I've discovered the acrylic nail powder since, which I prefer it if I'm working quickly in a day. This took over 2 days, so speed wasn't an essence. But if I'm building on just one of my days off, the acrylic nail powder is a rapid drying material, so it makes the process faster. And here I'm sewing the actual tube into length. I've decided to take it back to where the actual chassis is, because I can take some off the wheels, as we'll be seeing after. The wheel hubs at the back were quite intrusive, so they got sanded down and it brought them level, so they did really well. And still sewing here. Sewing the front ones here, as can be seen by the angle I've cut for the missing wing. And sewing the last bit down. And I can't rate, if you haven't got one of these jeweller's saws, I can't rate them highly enough. They're a great piece of kit to get hold of. Yeah, you'll snap a few blades, but even snapping blades, they're still so fast to work with compared to other methods. And they're more accurate and you can have a look what's going on, and great tool. And next up, what were we up to next? Let's have a look then. And here we go. That was it. And what we do, because they've been sawn, I'm deburring the inner part of the tube. To accept the pins, I'm taking the burr off it. Because it's been sawn, there's only a small gap. And watching I don't slice my fingers yet again on a new blade. Because it's not like me, well, let's be honest, I've forever slashed them. And here we go, boop, 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 boop. The inside of the hubs still isn't done, but here I am. I've got the wheels in the pliers in the circular bit to hold them, and the hub in the back is being sanded down. And there it is, it fits a lot nicer. Here we go. Boop, 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 boop. There you are, they fit a lot better how they should. I don't think I'd done the front wheel at that time, so I did the front wheel later. And that fitted better, looks better. And here, I'm just putting some grey primer on. And looking good in the grey primer. I end up putting some black on, because I decide I'm going to do the painting over black on it. which it did look good, I have to admit, after, but it probably didn't make the painting any more easier or harder, because I decided to hand paint it. Oh, there we go, it's now in its black colour, or more or less in its black colour, just a couple more blips I decided to give it. Make sure it were covered. And there we go, pretty much covered. And it's on to the next process. And here we go, mixing a bit more JB weld up. And I'm using it basically for what I mentioned before. It's like a 2-point piece of epoxy, like an araldite glue, with a bit of material in to boost it. And what I'm using it for is to just put some on the inside of the tubes. Only a little blob, it doesn't need a lot. And then shove the pin into it. And same again on the back wheel there. Force a bit of the glue into it. And then push the pin in. And hopefully, I'm pretty sure it will hold them well. And I think this is my third and final one going in, being pushed into place. Not doing this side. I thought it was the last because I had them all on while I was working round. I just took them out and put them back in again as I was working round. And these wheels, they actually came off a Disney Pixar Cars model. Came off one of the Chevy Impala lowrider ones. There's a few different ones of that in the Cars castings, but they make fantastic wheels if you're doing a Corgi VW Beetle. I bought quite a few of the Disney Pixar cars and stripped them for the wheels, which have proved good in 2 builds so far. Here I'm just using my pliers as an hammer. Technique if you're a motorcyclist and you reduce to repairing motorcycles, everything's an hammer. In fact, sometimes I use an hammer as an hammer. And here I am, I'm knocking the wheels in, and there we go. A nice rolling chassis. Rolls well. Best results I've had so far. With that method, I'm pretty impressed. And here we go. Time for some blubs. Here we go. Blub 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 blub. Anyway, if people haven't guessed where we're heading with this one, it's from the film Cool Runnings, and it's basically about some of my old-time sporting heroes for what they did in that day in 1988 in Calgary. Cool Runnings is loosely based around the factual story of the Jamaican bobsled team, actually. That's a bit of a fallacy because they had two sled teams out there, and they actually finished in the two-man bobsled team, and they did astronomically well, finishing 30th out of about 41 countries. And you've got to remember, the other 40 countries did bobsleighing regular as one of the sports. These guys just got up and did it. But the astronomical feat, what I'll always respect them for, was they crashed out, but they actually picked the bobsled up. It's a real event, and they carried it across the finishing line as they did in the movie. And it was so emotional. I'm breaking up now. It was so emotional watching that on the day when they did it. It was just pure sportsmanship and astronomical. I've got a tear in my eye. But yeah, it's got to be ranked for me amongst one of the greatest sporting moments, if not the greatest sporting moment. And the film, it goes way off the true story, obviously, but you have to do it that way. The actual athletes, even though it went way off the story, says, yeah, we like it, it's good having the film, and it's funny, it's a bit of a comedy, and enjoyable, and it always makes me giggle. The lucky egg and stuff like that. It's a great film. If you've not watched it, honestly do. You won't regret watching it. And just simply heroes. And the car. Now we come to mention it, you'll notice it instantly. Anyway, feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, get on up, it's bobsleigh time. And here we go. It's the car that featured in the film that they practised pushing. And it was only in a couple of shots, really, not for long. Because the main stuff was more comedy stuff they did, but it was just, what can you say about it? It was a wreck with missing wing and stuff, but what can you say? It's been the first one I've done where I've not had to worry too much about getting an immaculate finish. But I've rendered it faithful to the movie car. It had to be painted by hand. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, please press subscribe. Bye for now.